I have come here to podcast with a man that put my name in a genre on earth. And I can't tell you, you know how cocky I can get. I can't tell you how pleased I am this gentleman come in. And there's just too much to talk about, so I'm just going to get right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Right Honorable John Carpenter.
Mr. Toombs, how are you?
I'm a box of fluffy ducks. I'm still a graveyarder.
Good for you. Good
yeah.
for you.
I'm glad you're here, Johnny.
I am happy to be here.
Holy cow. We were talking just before about, I did a role, Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
And what it was like.
I'm real proud of you for that. That's really cool.
Well, you know, like, I had heard the name Oscar Wilde, obviously, just, but I hadn't done any research on him. Well, when I got offered the role, I was all over it. And I heard maybe 10 seconds of his real voice, and he was very like this, in kind of a rhythm. So he was 6'2", though.
Oh, wow.
He was a big man.
Wow.
And so he had an affair with a younger guy that was a spoiled brat. And the affair, it was cut fairly quickly, but there was still a mentorship. Well, while Oscar was doing all this, he got some heat with the Victorian on top people. What they did, they put him in jail for 2 years.
Jeez.
They put him in jail for 2 years for, I don't know what the crime would have been, and like the crime would have been 8 years ago, sodomy, I don't know what it was. So when I play him, he's just came out, and absinthe seems to be the thing that, like, the ferry goes from me to Vincent van Gogh, and it seemed to be the thing they're doing. But in any case, I always like to share these things with John, because I did one thing to John Carpenter. I got so much trouble from the actors. John and I had spoken. I'm going to do a John Carpenter movie. That's thrilling. So, ignorance is bliss. So, like, I went down to Saldano, what that time was my acting coach. And I said, give me a couple scenes, Sal, out of the script, John had. And I had him videoed, and I was all proud, and I came up to show you. Some actor, you did what? Well, what if he didn't like him? He would have been out of a job. I mean, never, ever do that. I got admonished for it.
But I'm going to tell you what a great job you did in that movie. There's one scene I'm really proud of that you brought to it. And it's when your character finds a box of sunglasses. And he has one, and he puts it on, and he suddenly sees the world as it really is underneath in black and white.
Yeah.
He takes the glasses off, back to his phony reality, on, off, that whole sequence, going from an innocent who doesn't know to a guy, oh my God, to the cynicism comes over Nada, and he begins to kick ass. That was great.
Thank you.
And that was tricky. That was tricky to do for any actor.
Yeah, I had you there.
Well,
and but listen, before we get into They Live and stuff, we have a couple things in common, John and I do. As tell the folks, what was the first writing job you had or engagement? I know you were born in New York.
Northern New York, in Carthage, New York, and I grew up in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, there, writing itself will make you a writer, huh?
There you go.
No wonder you're the horror master.
You know it, man.
That's WHO. Excuse me, go ahead.
And, everything I learned about evil, I learned right there in little old Bowling Green. But when I was a kid, I fell in love with wrestling. I just love wrestling. And I wrote a column for the Ring magazine. Southern wrestling.
Who was the first wrestler, who doesn't matter, that you can remember? Just the first match. Where were you, Bowling Green? I don't know if that's
Jackie Fargo.
Lord.
Don and Al Green.
Holy cow.
And I saw Harley race when he was John Long.
Holy cow.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Harley's a tough boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's as long as he wants to be.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so, and your dad was a musician?
That's right, music teacher.
as a living?
That's right.
So you got to Bowling Green. When did you take an interest in writing theatrically?
Oh boy. Well,
You know, like I'm trying to catch the bridge there
Yeah.
from Bowling Green in
Into the
pro
movies?
wrestling. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch.
well, it wasn't through writing. I fell in love with the movies because my parents were Yankees. We were from northern New York, right up near Canada, of all places. Oh yeah,
We
right.
may be related.
Well, oh God, no. So
Okay.
we came down to the South, and listen, it was the Jim Crow South. It was hillbillies. It was rough trade down there.
Yeah.
I was a fish out of water. I didn't know what was going on. So I found my escape in the movies. That's why I went to the movies all the time. And I saw this movie when I was 8 years old that made me want to make movies. It was called Forbidden Planet. It was an outer space movie. And I was just thunderstruck. And I said, I'm going to do that for a living. I'm going to make movies.
How old were you?
8.
You just knew it.
So I knew it, and I got to live my dream. And you can't get better than that.
No. Not only did you get to live it, you got to the top of it.
Well,
No, I mean, I know there's a lot of great directors out there, but I know who John Carpenter is.
you know, I got in this business because I fell in love with Westerns. I wanted to make Westerns. But Westerns...
John Ford.
Howard Hawks, John Ford.
Yeah.
But they died out. They died. They went away. Television partially killed them. The Italian Westerns with Clint Eastwood and those kind of Westerns killed them. So that nobody was making Westerns. So I got typecast as a horror director. And that's what I got hired to do. And I did it, you know. That's okay. I was happy to do it. I was happy to do it.
It's beautiful. I have so many questions from so many different people, and I want to be respectful to everybody. But one of the questions I got from Twitter people are, what made you choose Roddy Piper to become star in They Live? Because we didn't know each other before this.
No. We met at WrestleMania 3.
That's right.
We had a dinner the night before. You had a match with the late, great Adrian Adonis. Yeah.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah.
come up, he would pump iron all day long, and he looked horrible. But he could do anything in the ring, and then he'd eat tuna fish, and then he'd go, "How do I look?" He's got his chest is like the upper road map of New York.
He was a tough guy, Rod.
Oh, big time.
He was a tough guy.
With a sweetheart.
Yeah. I know. You told me.
Yeah, but
anyway, we met there, and we talked, and I had two ways of going with They Live. One way was to make it from the point of view of somebody who worked in a television station, some executive, okay? The other way was to do it as a guy who drifted into town, who was a guy who was looking for work.
Yeah.
And I decided that's the way to go. Tell it from that point of view. So that's when I thought to myself, you look tough. You look like you've worked for a living. This is going to be perfect for my movie. And that's how I cast.
That's why.
That's it.
I tell people, they say to me, how did you get the part? And, there's a lot of things I can't remember because, they think those football players got concussions.
Tell me.
Yeah. And I try to piece it together. And, when you're going fast in interviews, and the only thing they said, how did you get the part? And this is my explanation, right or wrong or whatever. It was like, well, it was WrestleMania 3, and we're having dinner, and I remember this. Somebody gave me a bottle of Cristal. I poured orange juice in it. So, like John said, pass the rolls. Here's the butter. You want to star my next movie? Sure. Here's the pickles. Maybe being a little bit facetious.
No. That was basically when we met and sat down. I looked at you and I thought, well, here he is. See, I could.
What did you see?
Your face.
And please, be brutal. Everybody else.
I saw life in your face. Life. Somebody who'd lived life, as opposed to somebody who was, soft and college educated and, maybe like a traditional 80s Hollywood movie star. No. I saw somebody who could work on a construction gang, who could put things together on his own, who was you had it in your face. I thought, well, this is it. I knew you could perform because I've seen you. I saw your show, Piper's Pit. I watched you. I watched what you did. So I knew you had it. I just didn't know you had it as the ability as much as you did, because you played some subtle things, like the scene I brought up earlier. Some real subtle things for a guy who's just stepping into the film world.
Yeah.
You had made one or two movies before, but this was the first one that challenged you. And you did.
Big time. It was a big time challenge for me.
Yeah.
I'd go in the sauna 4 a.m. in the morning first thing.
Yeah.
I'd get it out, and then in my trailer, Sandy had a bucket of ice water in my trailer. Every day we were shooting.
But movies is a different discipline than at the ring and on the road. You guys were on the road all the time.
And I came from like a gypsy background into,
Yeah.
And I must have been hard to understand, and two, to deal with.
No, you were a sweetheart.
Oh,
you were absolutely.
I love you.
You were ready to go. That's what I loved about it. You were ready to go. Here's the scene. Here's what we're going to do, Rod. You walk over here. You do this. Blah blah. You were right on it. A lot of times you have to beg actors to act, and that's what they're getting hired to do. Well, you didn't have to beg you. You wanted to do it. There was a drive. You could see this was a step in the right direction, and you got to star in this movie.
Son, I've never told anybody this, ever. When I started pro wrestling when I was 15, by accident. And that's what I thought we had in common. Somebody didn't show up, somebody did go. And every year, 16, 17, I calculated it, and 18. If I didn't feel like I was making progress, I'm out.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen a professional wrestling match before that. It was strictly money.
Yeah.
And so as I got going, and I went to about 12 territories before I had a chance as a main eventer right here in the Olympic, actually. And I worked 3 years in the Olympic, pretty close to, well, if you ask me, sold it out every day.
Of course.
Yeah, hanging from the rafters. And then the same with Oregon territory, then Charlotte and Atlanta territories.
When you were doing the Olympic here, was that the La Cucaracha era? That's my favorite story.
Just for you, I almost got us kicked off the TV because I had went to Tijuana, and for the 3 days I could remember, they had a donkey with black stripes on it, and the person, a tourist, would get on the donkey, they'd take a picture. Oh, they got a lot of respect for us. All right. So I brought the donkey back, which in itself is the one we'll share on the offcuts.
Yes, okay.
And as I got it pulling it, like if you had saw me 20 seconds earlier before it came on TV, I'm pulling this donkey and snatching black, biting its ear. And I finally get up on this donkey and I got a sombrero. And I got my T-shirt, Conquistador of the Guerreros. Uh-huh. And I had a stick with a string and a carrot. And I proceeded to go by like wetback made nothing to me. I don't care, Doggone did the president of the network.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Came down to Eileen Eaton, who ran it at that time. And they're just going to kick us off. And they said to me, you need to apologize. I will, because I had no place to go.
Sure,
okay,
sure.
I will. I'll whatever you want. You don't know what you want?
Yeah.
Okie dokie, I'll work on it. And I got on and I said, it was Wednesday, which was TV day.
Right.
Friday was house show day. So on Wednesday, I got the bagpipes out, and in Spanish, it's called gaita. Uh-huh. And I said, I made a mistake because I love you people. It's true. You work so hard. I see it mowing grass, and it's really wonderful stuff. And I'd like to do something special. So I'm going to play the Mexican national anthem on my gaita for you on Friday. And all the wonderful Hispanic people came in and to give me your week, your shelter. And Jimmy Lennon,
sure.
Who was if you look on Showtime, there's a Jimmy Lennon Jr., his dad, who saved my life. A guy was trying to shoot me. Another thing, I'm in the ring, and Jimmy Lennon says, there'd be about 14,000. Jimmy Lennon says, please stand. for the Mexican national anthem. Just like this, I said to myself, I'm going to die. I put those bagpipes up, man. It's too late, right? Here we go.
You got to go.
La cucaracha, there's a little funny. Holy cow, chairs that were bolted down in the cement. Here they come. And they always make the same mistake when they're coming in the ring. They come between the top rope and the second rope, which is perfect punting. But that damn ring in L.A. was a 22-foot ring.
Oh, wow.
So, the sprinting I wasn't that good at. The punting I had down. Night never started.
That's genius. I got to tell you, it's genius. Seriously.
Andy Kaufman was around at that time.
Yeah.
And we'd do his Elvis to come in, and it was a different time.
Oh, boy. Big time. Big time.
Different time. And
yeah. So, Rod, what's up with your arm, dude?
My arm.
What's going on, man?
Well, I broke my neck maybe 12 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was my neck. And so I went to a really great doctor, Dr. Nick Shammy at the UCLA. And boy, there's 6.5 hours. They took out all the arthritis. They fused 4 discs, put 7 screws in.
Oh, man.
But, that's cool. All right. But then I'm going along another, 7-8 months. And I'm going, Jesus hurts. And I go to another Sawbones, and the guy goes, takes pictures, and goes, baby, Jesus, get in here now. And they took 8 bones out of my rotator cuff. One was over an inch long. He's got the scope or the pictures for me, and he constructed it, put 8 or 9 screws in there, pulled all the muscle back up, and now if I be a good boy for just like another 4 or 5 weeks, I could probably fight again. Oh, baby, Jesus. I'd like to have more fight.
Wow.
With my son.
Yeah. Yeah, your son's doing great, though.
Oh, yeah, he's got that.
You got to be proud, man.
Holy cow. He loves his mummy so much.
Does he?
And he's centered, and he's respectful. He gets up in the morning, takes a 12-pound sledgehammer, and hits a truck tire for an hour.
Just like Dad. Just like old Dad.
Then he goes. And he's undefeated as an amateur MMA fighter.
That is so great. What does he want to do? Does he want to continue there?
No. He's smart.
Good.
You know what? I can I hold your hand for a second?
Yes.
John and I have an interesting relationship. Colt broke down one time. They had wrestling for him to do. And he goes, Daddy, the pressure. He says, the pressure that trying to follow you. He says, but Dad, I don't mean any disrespect, but I don't want to live like you did.
Yeah.
Oh, here come the alligator.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, dude, if you want to become a milkman,
I don't care.
That's cool.
I don't care.
A florist, I don't care. Do your best, but I don't care. And now I have 4 children and 3 grandchildren.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All from a wrestler's pay.
That is so cool.
And there was one, just when we're talking about that, here my mind will go all over the place. Here we go. So we're on top of the Bank of America, okay? And it's one of the last scenes where I'm shooting in and they're blowing up all the stuff, okay? And all day, there was this fat guy who proceeded to tell me all day, damn, I've been in this business 27.5 years. I must have squibbed everybody from John Wayne to John Duke to Heidi Fleist. Isn't that nice, sir? Thumbs time. He squibs, so you guys know what that means is back then they had like a little bit of gunpowder and some fake blood. And then they put them all to wires, and when you got shot, they ran a copper rod down a bunch of copper posts, and they'd blast out. All the blood would come out. So, okay, it's time, and they were a little worried about me about the flames and that whether I'd balk out or not. I'm not going to balk out, but he said it'll sting a little bit. Yeah, okay, so here we go. And I thought to myself, you know, he was right about that. That did sting a little bit. And
Did it get your arm?
Oh, yeah. And then he went and he was, oh, damn, I put him in backwards.
That's unbelievable.
I wanted to throw him off the roof.
I wouldn't blame you. Oh, man.
It was just...
Those things aren't that safe. No stunt is that safe. I got to just tell you now. The safest thing we ever did was the fight that you and Keith put together. Now that was choreographed and planned and thought out and acted by the two of you.
Do you remember why you wanted that fight?
What was the reason?
Yes, sir.
Well, when I was writing the script, I thought to myself, and this is not very hard, I have Roddy Piper in my movie. Roddy Piper knows how to fight. Why don't I put the biggest movie fight of all time in this movie? And we can have a fight. And Keith David and Roddy Piper can fight over one of the issues in the movie, which is the sunglasses.
Put the glasses on.
Yeah. It was all about that. It was about nothing else.
Just put the glasses on.
And he's an actor. He's trained at Juilliard. He is not a street kid. He was not a tough guy. And you guys worked it. Oh, he was great.
He was fantastic.
Wasn't he?
Yes, the first thing that you had me do, though, is watch a movie called The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara.
That's right.
Pardon me. And I think they had the longest fight scene.
That's sort of, yeah. It was a kind of a bad fight. It wasn't much.
But the fight, the way my translation of it was, and that I've said before, is the one in Quietest Man. Okay, it was a fight scene. It was a long fight scene, got it. But what John wanted was a fight scene between two friends, so to speak.
That's right.
That had to arc with the script.
That's right.
You know, and one of the things that myself, you know, I'm proud. Yeah, I'm proud of it. Damn it.
You should be.
You know me. I always back off.
I know you shouldn't back off of that, man. That was really, really well constructed fight, and you guys came on the set ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Ready to go. No stunt guys. Nobody.
No, sir. But when you know what caught me was so Keith. I hit Keith, and he's down, and he's getting up by a car, and I got a 2x4, and I swing, and I miss it, and I swing right at him, right where his head is, boom, and I bust the glass in the car, and Keith's down there looking at me, and he goes, "You dirty mung." And he grabs a wine bottle to get me, right? And he busts it, and he cuts his own hand. Well, that makes me laugh.
Sure.
And the next thing I know, I got a 220-pound guy coming over me, and we're going out, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that. I loved that part.
Oh, yeah. But it was put together with intelligence and knowledge. I mean, that's the thing. You knew what you were doing. And we had Jeff Amato was a stunt guy. He helped.
Yes.
He helped everybody
be
safe. And I couldn't be happier with that damn fight.
I love it. We're with John Carpenter. We're going to come right back after this break. When you're ready to buy a car, TrueCar is changing car buying forever. Yes, TrueCar helps a car buyer get rid of the fear that they might overpay. Every day, TrueCar users receive negotiation-free, guaranteed savings, and TrueCar users save up an average of $3,221 off MSRP. When you're ready to buy a car, you just follow 3 easy steps. Download the TrueCar mobile app or go to TrueCar.com to find out what others have paid for the car you want. Then register to see upfront pricing information and lock in your savings. Third step is simple. Take your guaranteed savings certificate to the TrueCar certified dealer for a better, hassle-free car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. With TrueCar, you can save time, save money, never overpay. To see how much you can save on the car you want, simply download the TrueCar mobile app or visit TrueCar.com today. Jingle bells, it's Christmas time. Okay, you need to go to rowdyroddypiper.com. You can get your bubblegum soda pop. You can get the special Christmas package, bubblegum soda pop, 8x10 t-shirts. I got Miley Cyrus that's going to wrap it for you. Are you kidding? rowdyroddypiper.com. Go there for your Christmas. Yeehaw! I can't help it. It makes me either want to fight or make love. Henceforth, we know it makes me want to make love 4 times. And I have with me Mr. John Carpenter, the horror master, they call you, sir.
Rod, it's good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for staying. I want to ask you something because from They Live, I had a problem with this. So we were just talking about the fight, okay, and the fight, the arc of the fight had to be the arc of the script, so it stayed within the story. Well, that fight got over. So, I mean, people got over, meaning people all over were doing this fight. It was crazy. So then I heard that there's this, I'm sure you've heard it called South Park.
Oh, yeah, they did a parody of it.
You know, the crutch.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't touch it 10 years. I refused to watch it. And one time I'm in an autograph line, I'm doing an autograph line, and this beautiful little boy in a wheelchair comes up and starts laughing his ass off. What a great time. And I got him with the crutch and then put the hat on. And ever since that, I've had no trouble with it.
There you go.
Did you ever have a problem? It's been so much all over the place.
Listen, anybody who understands and loves movies loves that fight. Martin Scorsese loves that fight, of all people. And look, everything's flattery, Rod. They're flattering us. They're flattering what you put into the fight. They're flattering the way I shot it. They're flattering what Keith brought to it.
Jeff.
Oh, man. It's all about loving what we did. And that, 26 years ago, we made that movie. 26 years ago, okay?
Yeah.
And we shot it for 30-some-odd days, and we did it. And here we are still talking about it. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. That I can remember the first day. I'm going to work, right? And there's the alley, because it's the alley where the poor people, homeless people, and they got this huge hose coming from a fire engine. I don't know, with Lysol or something. They're going to work today, Keith. It was as real as it comes.
Oh boy, we were down there among them.
Matter of fact, I believe we had to pay 2 different gangs off.
Oh yeah,
to keep
and you, because when you were young, you came from a background that had a little darkness in it. Let's put it that way.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you were talking to a couple of the guys down there on Skid Row, and you went and gave him some bucks. It was very kind of you. It was from my wallet, though. You borrowed it from me.
They were rough. I feel. Also, thank you, sir. You were saying one of the poignant movies of the fight, or what I did. I think the greatest thing that you did in that movie, and I think we can let it out now, is you were going to have Keith and I smoking a joint. But you decided against it because, you're a real deal American guy. And Nada says, I believe in America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
That so strong, especially like when I was doing it at the time. But holy cow.
Well, there was a movie that was made back in 1940 based on a novel called The Grapes of Wrath.
Only heard of it.
And it's an unbelievable movie. And this
Gregory Peck?
No, that was Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda started it. And it was about the Dust Bowl and the Okies who moved to California.
What he got through.
What they went through. Big time. Okay, and this was my version of that movie. It was my version of The Grapes of Wrath, okay, but it was done in the 1980s.
Gotcha.
With a science fiction overlay. The science fiction was just an excuse to go ahead and talk about these issues and explore them.
So, because when the police came to clean out the homeless and shanties. You actually used homeless people.
That's right.
And you fed them.
That's right.
And you made sure they were taken care
That's
of.
right.
You know, I don't think when just because I've been close to you, I don't know if people realize how much you love America.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, I told this about 6 months to somebody. I've changed my mind. Is that They Live's a documentary.
Hell yeah. Oh, you know it is.
It is.
It's still happening.
It's coming on stronger and stronger. There's more bands that play it. I Have Come Here to Do has been used in more things. It's a documentary.
So you know that America has everything in it.
Yes.
It has the good, the bad, the worst, the best.
Yeah.
Has all kinds of people stuck together. Here we are, and we're all working. We're all trying to make it our best place to live.
Yes, sir.
That's what I love about America. There's no place like it.
Nah.
I do like Canada too, Rod. I want to tell you that.
It's very close.
Yeah.
You know, a little more laid back.
Yeah.
America, but you in that movie, you know, it was like everything was American made. You drive the same Cadillac I did.
Yeah, that's right.
Exact same.
That's
matter of
right.
fact. It says, I have a Twitter question here. Are you surprised that the film went on to become a critically acclaimed cult classic?
Well, I'm surprised that any movie of mine is liked. You know, I have the same problems that a lot of people do. I don't think anybody's going to like what I do. And I was delighted by it. And the fact that it still resonates with the culture and people now is wonderful.
Is that what you think why people keep loving the film so much? Because
It's a number of things, okay? First of all, it's you. It's the fight. And it's what it's about. And it's the kind of movie that it is. I think that's what gets them. And they also love your line. They love that line that you wrote.
Thank you. I've told it many different ways, the line. You know, sometimes when you do as many interviews as I do, you got to craft. And, you know, I was like, and I can't remember where the doggone line came from until I'd be going 80 miles an hour down the road. My left knee was driving. It was a yellow Lincoln Mark IV, had a case of beer in the right seat, the dome lights on, 8-track stereo on there, a yeller pad, and a pencil.
Yeah.
And I just kept going through them. And I always thought, you know, I was always told it like this. John said, action. And then John said, hold the roll. Roddy, you got bullets and sunglasses. You need to go in the bank. You're not going to rob it. Say something. I'm all out of bubblegum. Lunch. You know, it was a creative way. But
sure.
I just don't really know how it did really get in there.
Well, you gave me the sheet of paper that you had from all the interviews that you'd done over the years with various wrestlers. You'd written down phrases. You'd written them down in that Mark IV in the middle of the night. You'd written them down on airplanes. You had to come up with stuff to say in those interview days, okay? And
Huge.
I believe it, well, yeah, all the time. You had to do it constantly.
Constantly.
I believe that your line, I'm all out of bubblegum line, was when you were facing Playboy Buddy Rose. You remember who he is?
I sure do.
Yep.
And you're right.
You had written it down, Playboy Buddy Rose, blah, 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 blah. I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. That's where it came from.
Do you still have those books?
You know, I don't know. I don't think I do.
You should put them in a museum.
You just gave it to me. You said, take a look at this. Here's who I am. Here's what I've written. Here's where I came from. So I started reading it and said, well, this is some great stuff.
So, okay, because you and I were so foreign to each other, at least from my point of view, where I've been, you know, like, I go into a promoter. I was like 15, 16, and you put out your hands and you put a roll of quarters in your hands. And then, you know, you put a $1 and a $2. And the old timers get mad. They'd slap you. Don't smile.
Yeah.
You smile, he stops.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that for like 12 years. And then I knew that my body was taking such a beating.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, and so the movie, when I got this opportunity, I really, 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 I'm not afraid to work.
Oh, never.
No. It's just, but
you're a born actor also. This is the thing that nobody can teach that.
I can't understand that either. You've told me you're an actor, and I can't I can't wrap my head around it.
Don't even worry about it. That's who you are.
Yes, but I'm going to die soon. Please tell me the story.
The story is that you have a natural talent, Rod. You have a natural talent for acting. And some people do have it. Some people don't. Some people will never understand it. You have a charisma and an acting ability that allows you to get certain things across. And that's what I saw in you, and that's what is in They Live.
How did you feel about, because I know in those days, I was so coarse.
But this is what I wanted. This is the character that I wanted. You were the character. You weren't polished. There was something, and that was what was so appealing. I didn't try to make you into something you weren't. I tried to take what you were and bring it to the screen, and this character, Nada, and this guy who comes into town, he's looking for work, okay, and he gets involved in this situation. And it was your talent and your ability and your past knowledge. You knew how to wrestle, you knew how to fight, and you lived life. I could see it on your face. All of those things went into it. That's why I made the movie with you. You just got to accept that it's you. Dude, it's you.
I have such a hard time with that.
I know you do. That's okay. It's okay.
Why is that?
Oh, a lot of us have a self-image issues. We're down on ourselves a lot when we don't need to be. And we need to relax on ourselves and don't beat ourselves up so bad. And accept the gifts that we had. God gave you a gift. He gave it to you. He did other bad things to you, but he gave you this gift.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, I know.
So all these years later.
Yeah.
Because you had told me that right from the beginning.
Yeah, but you weren't ready to hear it. You weren't ready to hear it because you were looking at life through a certain lens. Yes, and now you're a little bit older. Not much.
I love you.
And
Oscar Wilde comes along.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, back then you couldn't do Oscar Wilde. You're ready for him now.
Oh, whoosh.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It. Yes, sir.
I
do. I think maybe, I don't know if I needed to achieve something as a man. Or, I'm not sure. I don't know, John.
That's okay, because there didn't have to be an answer to that. But the fact is that you were ready to move on. You're ready, and you are an actor. That's what you are. You're also a wrestler, but that's in the past. I'd leave that behind. Say goodbye to that. That's my advice to you.
Yeah.
Those are the old
I've
days.
done everything I can in wrestling.
Well,
I've been the chairman. I've been head of the board.
That's right.
I was the first one to nail McMahon with a chair. Yeah. Then I airplane spinned him. Then I stopped and airplane spinned him and more. At which time his nose came up and said, "Are you ribbing me, Piper?"
Yeah.
The last New Orleans WrestleMania, Bobby Orton's on the ground laying down in my room, and he's got I think it was Time. And they was going through the billionaire list. And Bobby says, Roddy, he says, it says right here in the billionaire list, Vince McMahon, number 23.
Oh, boy.
Don't you think you ought to start getting along with him? So as I had to come out and do a speech, I heard 23.
Authority figures.
Oh,
we have a touch of a problem with authority figures. Just a touch.
Yeah.
Especially when they start to tell you what to do, and they don't respect you enough, and they give you orders, and you don't like that. That's okay.
No.
That's all right. I understand that.
But would you be the same?
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah. I hate authority figures. I hate them.
Because they always end up the authority that they want is in their benefit.
Yeah, of course. But there are benevolent authority figures. There are good guys who are authority. Well, they're here and there. They're people who don't want to just do it for themselves, want to do it for two people, for both of you and them. So I can tend to keep looking for the positive signs.
You've got to, right?
Yeah. Well,
keep on the sunny side. On the sunny side. John would do this for me. John and his beautiful wife Sandy. I was trying so hard, man, and I kept screwing up. And when I went and did They Live, I made the commitment. Vince McMahon came up to me before I left, and he said, Hot Rod, I'll have you the same amount of money in 4 weeks. And I'll have you another movie in the same amount of money in 4 weeks. And I said, not with John Carpenter directing, you won't. And Vince McMahon sent a message through my lawyer at that time saying, you tell Piper that only Hogan and McMahon are the only true WWFers. That's a fact. Now, what they did, this is what I was going through. It's because they had ousted me from the wrestling world because I was on top. They had all that money to get from me. But what they didn't realize is they didn't put me there.
Yeah.
If they had put me there, that would have been a different thing. But I had popped 5, 7 territories.
Yeah.
So what happened there, then Hogan and Vic McMahon went for a week in a hotel room and did no holds barred. And that was their big answer.
Yeah.
To They Live.
Well.
And you know what? We won! But
yeah, that was a wrestling movie.
Yeah, but the fact that I had to go through that, I didn't understand.
I know. It's okay. It's all right.
But I guess we were the first ones. Look how great The Rock's doing.
Oh, I know.
He's great, and a lot of it's got to do with timing. But he came up to me out of nowhere and he hugged me. He says, "You were my hero as a child." Yeah. You know. Acting had pursued me a different way. Was, oh, great. Here comes another jock to do a movie.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went into acting classes, trying to show them that I got respect for what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn it, you know? But, whoa, brutal.
Yeah, some of it.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Who were some of the biggest influences for you once, even maybe before Halloween? Was Halloween the first one you put on, or The Fog?
No, Halloween was my third feature, and it was 1978. 1978.
Cool. The Halloween was your first feature?
No, it was my third. But Halloween, then The Fog, then Escape from New York. That's how it kind of laid out in the early days.
So, talk about Halloween, or rather The Fog, you did for $300,000 and made $30 million?
Well, something like that. Yeah, but that's...
Did you just call that boy again, get him back in here?
That's what they wanted me to do over and over again, was make these cheap movies and then made money. Well, that's great, but I'd like to move up a little.
That's what you were just talking about with me.
Yeah. I want to move up a little bit now. I want to get a little bit better budget.
Yes, sir.
You know, make it a little bit better than we'd had, the budget that we had. So that's kind of the way the movie business worked in those days. Now it's all different, man. It's all crazy now.
As is wrestling.
Is it?
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't watched in so long.
No. Do you have out of all your projects you've done, do you have a special one that's close to your heart?
So many of them. So many I have special, but They Live is real special to me. It was a...
Really, man?
Yeah, a real personal statement.
Don't say that.
And I took a big risk with that movie in a number of ways, and they really paid off. Can you tell me what they are? Well, one of the risks was having a fight that ridiculously long in a motion picture. You know, it was a risk.
What is this?
And people might have been watching the movie and they might have said, come on, you know. But it worked. And so that was a risk. And the subject matter was a risk. And so there you go.
Gotcha. You know, one thing that Muhammad Ali did me a great favor when I was about 19 years old. And if you want to hear the story, I'll tell you. But I saw him, and he said exactly what I was trying to say to people. Ali was talking, and he went and did a movie. And he said, now, what you're doing, when you see up there and I'm up there, you're saying, hey, there's Muhammad Ali acting. When Stallone or Clint Eastwood come out, it's just Stallone and Clint Eastwood. And the same, hey, there's Roddy Piper acting. And that was the hardest thing to get over.
Yeah, but you got it. You know? You got it.
I think maybe the whole bring her on in.
No, that's okay. She's fine. She's good. She's happy.
All right. I got to take a break. Yeah, okay. Take a break. We'll be back with the great John Carpenter.
Hello. Hey, what's up? This is Seaton from The Dan Patrick Show. You can download our show every weekday at podcast1.com. Every day, Dan Patrick and the Danettes talk about the latest in sports and pop culture. We have A-list guests from around the world of sports and entertainment like Rich Eisen, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, Charles Barkley, Will Ferrell, and the originator of the Danette nickname, Reggie Miller. Not to mention the likes of Chrissy Teigen and Brooklyn Decker.
I had my pepperonis out.
Download the Dan Patrick Show every day at podcast1.com.
This is your podcast.
That's podcastone.com.
Jingle bells, it's Christmas time. Okay, you need to go to rowdyroddypiper.com. You can get your bubblegum soda pop. You can get the special Christmas package, bubblegum soda pop, 8x10 t-shirts. I got Miley Cyrus that's going to wrap it for you. Are you kidding? rowdyroddypiper.com. Go there for your Christmas. Holy baby Jesus. We have the horror master in the house, Mr. John Carpenter, and we have the king.
Yes.
The lady that is behind all the things that makes us workers, man.
That's right, man.
And that's the wonderful Sandy King, husband of John Carpenter, producer, script advisor, makes sandwiches when the crew is hungry.
That's right.
Really pleased to have you on.
Nice to be here.
Thank you. We were just kind of dipping around and talking about They Live and some of the things that made it work, you know, and how they're. It's almost like we're talking. It's almost a documentary, you know. And you look at it now, and you look back at it. Excuse me. Well, how do you feel about when they're redoing The Fog or Halloween?
Well, I tell you what, there are two kinds of remakes. The first kind of remake I don't care about, which is that the studio or the producers own the material. So when they decide to remake it, they don't have to talk to me. They don't have to say anything. They just do it.
Gotcha.
The second kind of remake is when I have written it or I have an ownership. And what they have to do when they remake that kind of movie is a check arrives and plops in my hand, and that I like. This is the good remake.
Gotcha.
So they pay me.
Would you ever allow them to remake They Live?
Maybe. We'll see how it is, you know? We'll see how it is.
Does it do anything to the original?
No, the original will stand on its own. They can't touch it. They can't touch the original. And they would, excuse me, I think they'd try to update it.
Yeah,
and make it different, but that's okay. That's okay.
So we gotta take it back to Sandy has been put in charge of the Bengal Tiger.
Well,
so she says, get in the sauna. So I'm in the sauna, 4 a.m. in the morning, shaking, I'm sweet and sweat. Gets me into the trailer, throws someone ice in. Paul Newman did it. You can do it. Every day, but you know what? Because she wanted me to be good.
That's right. Everybody did. We both did. Everybody
on the crew.
Yep.
I think that everybody could feel how uncomfortable, how unstable, or like it was my business that I came from to your business, and I wasn't acquainted with it.
You were stepped into a new world. It's a whole different ballgame.
And I didn't know. I'd just be polite, or sometimes not. Yep. You know, somebody kind of hips you a little bit. In my world, you know, it's instant.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, but
everybody believed in you.
Yeah, that's the thing. We all believed in you.
But it's the truth. So when you believe in somebody, you want them to succeed.
You gave me everything you had.
Well,
and you know what? I got to tell you. So I wake up. I guess it's Saturday morning, and. Rattle and Hum, U2 had a movie, and they closed out like all of Hollywood Boulevard. Do you remember Ding Ding? And then Dennis Quaid in the All American. Oh, we're dead meat. Number 1, They Live. Yes. Bono or Bono, whatever it is. It was a good feeling.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
It was a great feeling. Yeah.
We fooled them.
Well, out of the They Live. Where did you want John to go from there?
Wherever he wanted to go, just like usual. I mean, he's the one who knows what people want,
Yeah.
And he's the one who has the vision. My job's to support the vision,
Yeah.
not anything else. He has the vision, so only a stupid person tries to interfere with that.
No. Well, we're all moving away from the table on that one, You know, unfortunately, I'm not that blessed. Sometimes, you know, living on a mountain with 87 goats and a bird. I've been married to the same lady for 32 years.
That is so great.
October the 12th, 32 years.
That's great.
And
32
Sandy
years of bliss.
never once talked about divorce.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah.
Not about divorce. So it doesn't get any hipper than this. Your name and my name, more your name, in the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
You know, it's all about you, but they had to put my name in.
Now stop it.
Made the cover, made the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a song about that way back in the day, huh?
And a freaky old lady named Cocaine Katie.
Yep.
Used to embroider my jeans. What would you want? You know, I feel in my career, I haven't done that piece of work that's just really fulfilling. And I love They Live. I love, WrestleManias, all the rest of stuff. I haven't done the one that I got in me, whatever that is. Do you feel that way?
Not quite, but I think you never get there. I think that's the thing you should always do is never get there. Keep it ahead of you. Keep going for it. And that way you'll stay hungry for it. Never accomplish it. Always have it in the future. I can do better next time. I can do better next time.
I hate watching myself. I know.
I know.
It's just, I'm awkward. I'm like Bambi on the ice when I was just born.
No, stop it.
Well, I'm not. It's hard for me. Because it becomes three different people. Here's something interesting. They're doing a documentary on me for the last year. It's called Villain. And Roderick George Toombs died in 1969. Roddy Piper was born in 1970. Roddy Piper may die in 2015. Roderick George Toombs will be born in 2015.
Yeah.
Now you take that out and smack them together. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, you had you went into a business that required you to play a part, a persona, and you were that part. You were Roddy Piper. That's who you were.
Yeah,
and you lived it.
I just drew from different places,
and that was a part of you. So that guy, will always be a part of you. He doesn't have to be the dominant part, though. He doesn't have to control everything all the time. Now I think I see you as Rod Toombs. You're there. He's always been there. He's a good guy.
My children help with that. I want to wrap things up. I want you you both, because I requested you to come down.
Well,
and I'm so glad you did. And there's a bottle of my soda pop to you for Christmas.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Heidi Fleiss again has nothing on me. And the bubble gum's coming all worldwide. During the time that I was with you, I grew up a lot. And from that movie, after doing They Live, I had to go and get myself taken care of. And it's where I wanted to go, but all of a sudden, another kid, yeah, Vince, here I come. But I want to thank you. And I want to thank you.
Our pleasure, Rod. Our pleasure.
You know what? It's my turn. Shut up.
All right. I'll shut up.
Thank you. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you. Whatever I do know about myself, I know what an asshole I can be. I know how hard I can be to be around if I get in that thing. And I can't believe the amount of patience and I know hurt that I caused. And if you could just please forgive me for that. Because it was all on me.
It's done, dude. It's done. It's over. Long ago. We love you.
Always have, Roddy.
So then when we're going to do the sequel? No. No, I mean that with everything. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I mean that with all my heart. You know, I never had a chance. Boom, it was gone. We were wrapped, it was gone. And I never had a chance to say thank you. I was the youngest wrestler in the history of my profession. I have been voted by my profession the greatest villain in the history of my profession. I'm the first guy in my profession to go and star in a major league studio as a principal in my profession. And that one there, people ask me, McMahon liked to push the fact Roddy Piper, who never held the WWE champion. But I could have had it then if I wanted it. But you know what? I wanted the movie more. And you both gave me a number one hit. More than that, you gave me so much credibility when I was being a jerk. And I love you with all my heart. With that, I don't think any more questions really to you.
Thank you, Rod. We'll see you.
Thanks, Rod.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have John Carpenter and Sandy. Thanks for coming on the show. Listen, I always got to pay the bills. John, he's got a brand new, it's on CD. There's a long play vinyl. It's out February the 3rd. And it's John's record called Lost Themes. Lost Themes. And now, I've been there when John Carpenter's doing the music for They Lived. I was in there and watching how he was doing it and put in a note there and a note here myself. But John scores all his own movies and always has. His father was taught music, and John's a great musician. And I'm really proud that he would come on and talk about They Live. So you know what you do? You go to Amazon. You come on to Podcast One. You find Piper's Pit. I need to put my little girl through school. And you find the Amazon button on Piper's Pit, all right? And you click that button on Amazon. And you buy anything that you want to buy, because it's not going to cost you a cent. And what happens is Amazon kicks back and it keeps this podcast free for everybody to listen to that wants to. So Amazon, Lost Themes, John Carpenter, it's on CD, it's on LP vinyl, it's out February the 3rd. Hit that Amazon button and I hope you have a ball. Thank you.